What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Real Fan Sports. My name is Zach, and I'm here with my partner, Nonpfixion. What's good, brother?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? How you doing?
I'm good. I got a video, and it's going to be interesting. Okay. And I'm going to start off this video by saying, feel free to state your point, talk your trash, no hits below the belt, have a good debate about it. But this one's going to ruffle up some feathers. It's going to stir up the comment section. And it is a video by Cricket Stories. And it's titled, Why Sir Don Bradman is the most overrated cricketer ever.
Okay, so, I remember seeing the title. Okay.
So just a little bit of, I guess, background. We did a Don Bradman video recently. If y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. It was really good. Me and Non really enjoyed it. But there was some controversial comments in there saying things like this, that he was very overrated, that the time that he played was against, plumbers and handyman and different things like that. The same story that we hear from every world of sports, because of course they had to do other jobs because they weren't getting paid enough. And how they say now today cricket is so much more advanced, and there were certain things that made it easier for him, but they also forget to mention certain things that made it harder for him and how he trained and stuff like that. So this is gonna be interesting. I want to see a detailed why someone thinks he's overrated, and then give our opinion afterwards.
It's interesting, but the one thing that we both say is great ones can exist in every era. So before you just try to tear somebody down, understand if he's great in that era, most likely he's great in the era that you love the most too.
Yeah, because just imagine how good he was then without all the
training. Without the training.
So let's see what Cricket Stories has to do. And big shout out to Cricket Stories. They're still amazing, but everybody has an opinion.
Top notch.
Let's see what he thinks.
Was the most iconic player to ever play this beautiful game of cricket, and is a national hero of Australia. Has unbelievable records to his name, and numerous people around the globe consider him as the greatest player of all time. But was he really as good as he's made out to be? Would he have scored with the same average if he was playing in the modern age? Or simply, is he the most overrated cricketer ever? Hey guys, what's up? It's Cricket Stories, and we are back again with another video, and today we are going to look at why is Sir Don Bradman the most overrated player in cricket. But before you hit that dislike button and call me an idiot in the comment section, I just want to say that I'm in no way trying to disrespect Sir Don Bradman or the impact he had on cricket. So just watch till the end of the video before you start all the hate. So with that...
And this is why I love Cricket Stories, because I knew he wasn't about to come out here and start talking crazy, because he's been respectful in every single video that we've done of his, showed his appreciation for what they've done. But see, shout out Cricket Stories, man.
Yeah, he's using the people's voice to make this video. It's not necessarily his personal view.
That being said, let's get started. As far as I can recall, the idea that Sir Don Bradman was the greatest cricketer of all time is just assumed by everyone, and no one really questions why. Whenever the names of Sachin Tendulkar, Sir Vivian Richards, Brian Lara is brought up, Bradman seems to be the benchmark for comparison of these players. Great players like Ricky Ponting say that Don Bradman was the greatest ever, but by the time Ricky Ponting was born, Don Bradman had already been retired long time back. So the question is for all of you. How can someone be regarded as the best when you haven't seen them play? Even the clips of his batting are rarely available. So in order to investigate why is Sir Don Bradman so overrated, we start with his unreal outstanding statistics in Test cricket. An average of 99.94. I have been thinking since the day I got to know about this record that how is it even possible to maintain this kind of average in Test cricket? I did some research, and here is the list of top 10 batsmen who have the highest average in tests. And the major difference is that 8 out of 10 batsmen have a career span that ends before 1970. And I should tell you that the first ODI was played in 1971. This shows us what impact ODIs have had. One of them is that in the post-ODI era, batsmen had to continuously change their batting style in order to adjust to different forms of cricket. Experts do agree that players who continuously switch between tests and ODIs have impact not only on their batting style but also their overall temperament. In the case of Sir Don Bradman, he did not have to switch between two formats and continued playing tests without any problem. It's no...
Okay, so let's touch on this just for a second. From our knowledge, we're getting there where we're learning more, but we obviously are no professionals, so correct us if anything we say is wrong. So basically what he's stating here is that those that were before 1971 that have this record or in that top list, which was I think you said 7 out of the 10, that it benefited them because they only played test cricket. ODI hadn't started yet, so there wasn't a different approach. So they trained in just one singular type of way. So I get what you're saying. Where I disagree with it is that if you're somebody that when we play sports, we talk about perfecting their craft, right? If the late great Kobe Bryant, there was one thing he said, why are you doing shots from all over the place every single day and doing all this stuff? He goes, I didn't do this. He said, I had my turnaround fadeaway jumper. He said, I would do that 1,000 times a day. Or, it wasn't 1,000, but it was a lot. It was several hundred. He said, I would do that and I would perfect that. I was not missing that shot. So it didn't matter when I took it, the moment, anything. It was embedded in me to do it. So why is it a fault that he was able to perfect this form of cricket? And why is it looked at as a fault?
The problem I have with it is to say that oh well they didn't get a chance to play ODI. That's fine, but what's to tell the world, the modern world, that they couldn't have adjusted? No one knows that.
Right.
If they were that good in that time period, they would have adjusted easily because they are already that good. You're saying somebody who's considered great, the top 10. If you don't think the top 10 in this sport could have adjusted, then you don't look at how to actually break down how the sport even works. It doesn't make sense. If they're great, period. They would have adjusted easily.
Yeah. And the thing with what they said in the beginning, and we'll keep going in just a second, but the thing they said in the beginning, would he have averaged that same number of 99.94, or not average, but had that number set? There's no telling. It might not have been 99.94. Yeah, it might not have been. But to say that he wouldn't still be up there with those top 10 and wouldn't be in that count, to me, I feel like that's a little asinine. It's like,
well, it's pushing the goalposts back. It's like the argument is to create something to tear him down because he can't defend himself now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So you're going to create something that we all know theoretically. Who knows?
Yeah,
but because now it puts a question mark in everybody's brain, it tears down him.
Right.
It's like that's
I
don't like that approach.
Yeah. And I mean, just the fact is like, yes, athletes are supposed to be better. They're supposed to get better each and every, decade, 5 years, whatever. They're supposed to, because as I know, working as a personal trainer and studying sports science and sports medicine and stuff like that, the science is getting better and better. It's more and more improved each and every year. The trainings become different. They become more specialized and everything like that. They're supposed to be. We're supposed to evolve as humans. We're supposed to evolve, let alone in sports. Of course we are. So if he had all those advantages too, who knows? That's
surprised that the nature of cricket or any other sport, just like every other thing in the world, increases in quality as time goes on.
Yes, exactly.
Technological advancements, better understanding, and new styles of play being invented. And as time passed by, bowlers started to learn different techniques like reverse swing, slower ball, off-leg cutters, etc. And I highly doubt that the bowling attacks he faced were as diverse, fast, or skilled as those encountered by modern cricketers. But to be fair, Sir Don Bradman was a generational talent that no one had witnessed before, playing the game with so much aggression that startled everyone. In fact, his style of play has inspired generations of cricketers and fans around the world. However, a good question you should ask yourself is that, could Don Bradman actually produce the same stats against bowlers like Richard Hadley, Malcolm Marshall, Glenn McGrath, Kapil Dev, or any other great bowlers that came long after his retirement? Former Australian fast bowler Rodney Hogg even said that it was easier to bat between 1920 to 1950 and Don Bradman would not have achieved the same stats in today's game. I somewhat agree with him. I mean, try naming even a couple of elite bowlers in Bradman's time, and if you cannot, go ahead and hit the like button. On to my next point. If you look,
all right, before he gets to the next point, I agree 100%.
Yeah, but that's what we both just said. Like, we don't know for sure, but do we assume that it might have been a little bit lower? Yeah, we assume so.
Yeah,
because the bowling is that much better.
And the thing with Don Bradman too, it's like, also the little things that he did when he trained. It was we actually watched the video, not here but on our Discord when we were doing some reaction stuff like that. Go join our Discord, by the way. We do a lot of fun stuff over there, guys. Things you don't get to see on YouTube.
Link down below.
Yes, sir. But he's throwing it off of a big water tank, a golf ball, and he's just throwing it, and he's hitting it with a broomstick.
With a broomstick,
So he has that precision, he has that reaction time and stuff like that. Yes, is he going to be easier or harder to go on these long runs like he did whenever there's so many different ways to deliver the ball in today's cricket, where you have your in swing, your out swing, your leg spin, your off spin, all these different things? Yes, of course, because it's more advanced. So no one really does know that, but that shouldn't be a doubt on him. Is how we view it, I guess.
Go ahead and hit the like button. On to my next point. If you look at the countries he has faced, we will see that he played most of his matches against England. Although his records against India, South Africa and West Indies has been outstanding, he has played just one series against each of them. Normally, a player is judged on the basis of his performance against a bunch of teams, but clearly this has not happened here. And I personally believe that he has not been tested against proper spin bowling, as the only series he played against India was at home. In addition to it, he hasn't been tested against the harsh and demanding conditions of India, Pakistan and West Indies. Bradman's exceptional record was partially due to the advantage of playing on home soil in Australia for the most of the series, where pitches and conditions were familiar to him. Nowadays, players like Virat Kohli, Steve Smith and Babar Azam have to score runs home and away against 10 oppositions to prove everyone that they are among the best. Sir Don Bradman was out of the world during the 1930s as he destroyed the bowlers with his explosive batting. But in his career of 20 years, 6 years went away in Second World War, so it leaves us with 13 to 14 years of cricket, in which he played just 52 matches, meaning only 4 to 5 tests per year. So all in all, if we compare it to the amount of games a cricketer needs to play today, and the fatigue, the pressure one has to go through nowadays is much more than Bradman's era. So clearly, Bradman had an advantage here. In all honesty, it seems to me that older generation talking about Bradman as the greatest ever has just passed down and blindly accepted by us.
Okay, so 2 points there. First point with him not playing against other countries, other cricketing countries and national teams. Yes, that is a big factor. Especially playing on the same pitches frequently, right? So like you understand how the ball bounces, how it spins, and how it reacts. Because as we're learning, the location of the games is like one of the most like important things. It's one of the most important strategies to understand. So I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with that. That it is hard to judge since he mainly played in Australia.
Home court advantage is an actual thing. That's a thing.
Absolutely is.
So understandable. Don't disagree with the statement.
Not at all. But now the thing with the war, I will disagree with that a little bit. Like I understand that he didn't play as many and stuff like that, so he didn't play as many games. So yes, he's a little more fresh. He's able to have longer gaps in between matches and different things like this. But also, guys, it was a world war. It was a world war. There's other factors of stress and
I would say the mental stress that he was dealing with.
With that, and we all know from any experience, we know how propaganda has worked around the whole entire world during these situations. So he might not have had the stress of playing, as often as frequent and all over the place as some of the players now, but there was also a different type of stress that he was going through that hopefully we don't ever have to go through in our lifetimes or in future generations.
There are some people that currently are dealing with what he dealt with, So to deal with that, it's a different type of mental strain that can affect every aspect of your life, especially sports. It could cause you having the yips. It can cause you having all kind of issues where you're just not playing the same. You're not the same player at all. So the fact that he was able to steadfast go through that is still a commendament to who he is as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
Another point is the fielding that was set up in Test cricket. A Test match field would have 3 to 4 slips, 1 to 2 gully fielders in the covers, a fine leg, and 1 to 2 on the leg side. As he had only played Test matches, he got the chance to exploit such fielding setup. Here is a photograph of the fielding setup during that time. The quality of fielding at that time is also a point of discussion, as very rarely have I seen fielders diving to stop a ball or chasing it like modern times. In fact, Good shots were appreciated by fielders by clapping hands, and mostly if you hit a ball into the gap, it used to go for a boundary without any player trying to chase it. No players like Jonty Rhodes or Ricky Ponting were there to stop the ball. And also, cricket back then was not a full-time profession. People had other jobs and played cricket part-time. While it affected both batsmen and bowlers, it made even hard for bowlers as they are more dependent on fitness. While the batsmen could sit and hit fours, bowlers have to be in top shape to run and bowl for 5 days, and many bowlers at that time could not hit the gym like the present bowlers do. Sir Don Bradman transformed this beautiful game and brought it into a whole new level, bringing even more popularity and interest in the sport. I think we can say that Sir Don Bradman is the grandfather of cricket, and you, as a cricket fan, consider him as the best simply because of all of this. And don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes really good points. I hadn't seen the fielding thing argued yet in any of our comment section, and I mean, that's a big factor. I mean, because we know, and I know some people agree with, some people would say we're full of crap, but it is factual that cricket and fielding has gotten better once they started bringing in baseball coaches and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But the fact that they set up so many slips and gullies and stuff like that opened the field wide open for Bradman. So that set him up.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of these runs would be negated or maybe dove and caught out because the players are more athletic because it just makes the accuracy have to be even more precise. Well,
he also said that their style of defense, they didn't dive for balls.
Yeah, they didn't. Right.
So that could easily eliminate a certain amount of runs that he made in his lifetime. So I can agree with the argument. I can agree with that part of the argument.
I do too.
Bradman was the most dominant player of his generation, scoring 6,996 runs in only 52 matches, with an average of 99.95, scoring 29 centuries and 13 half centuries. He has scored the most runs as a captain in a series with 810 runs, hitting most fours in a test series with 46. He is the fastest player to reach 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 and 6,000 runs in test cricket. He's the top run getter in test cricket with 974 runs and has most double hundreds in test cricket with 12. And finally, was named as Wisden's Cricketer of the Century. Anyway, the purpose of this video was to inform you guys about some of the misconceptions surrounding Sir Don Bradman's career, and basically tell you that why I believe Sir Don Bradman is the most overrated player of all time. But again, I just want to say that I'm in no way trying to disrespect the legend and what he has done for the world of cricket, because Bradman was an exceptional player who truly changed the game. It's definitely not a bad thing if the coming generation is inspired by him and want to know more about this legend. And talking about legends, if you are interested in knowing how good was Sunil Gavaskar, click on the video being displayed on your screen. Thank you guys.
Great segue into the next video, Cricket Stories.
Yeah.
Well, once again, let's start off our little recap with what a great job Cricket Stories does at taking an argument, a debate, looking it from both sides, respecting both sides, and then giving out his opinion. And I think he did a great job at that. In no way he came off disrespectful in any way. He came back with the facts how he backed it. And this was a very well done video. But so after watching this now, Nan, like what are some things that you've kind of picked up or some things you've grasped from this?
I mean, just what we talked about in this short video is just about the idea of the fielding, how the fielding was different, and how the defense didn't react the same way defenses act now. Like when we watch BBL, them guys are diving all over the place. They're going crazy. They're going crazy. T20, same thing. Even Test now, they're going all over the place. But my still lone thought is that era of that sport it is what it is. We can't change it. We can't alter it. We can't do anything about it. He benefited from it, of course, but at the same time, he still did what he did, and no one in that era was even close.
Right
now, because of him, anyone who watches the sport now, or even who watched after his time had been done, he retired, should actually be happy that he did what he did, because it created the type of bowlers that we have now.
Yeah, batsmen that we have now. Yeah. You get.
The bowlers.
Bowlers, yeah,
because of him,
they had to learn how to get better. Yeah, that's a good
because
point.
Of him,
I didn't even think about
the bowlers we have
that's
now.
A cool angle.
And he is the reason that we have those bowlers.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the game evolving, still got to give him his flowers. It's because of him, players like him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
That's just how I look at it. You know.
That's a very good way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, because I'm the same way. It's like, we talk, some of the arguments, I feel like you could flip it either way. I think the things that are the big truths from it are the not playing in the different pitches, fields, not having to do all the traveling. That makes a huge difference. The fielding strategies, yes, that is an absolute huge difference. I think a lot of the other arguments are a lot of hearsay where it's like, yes, of course he doesn't have the most advanced training, so he doesn't have all the advanced muscle, skill, whatever, because that wasn't a thing yet. But that's what encouraged other people to create this. It's just like, and we see that through all generations. I mean, we're seeing that right now with someone who's still in the NBA and LeBron James, and the approach of how they train young kids, teenagers, high schoolers, and even below that, of how they approach the game. So we see those effects from greats. That's what they're supposed to do. So whether or not he's I think the most overrated is probably not the best term to put it, but I could definitely see an argument where you could say that he isn't the best. And that I'll be like, all right, well, there's an argument there from generation era to era. But to say overrated, I don't think he's overrated because no one's come close to doing what he's done so far.
Yes, no one's come nowhere near close.
Right.
So if there was somebody that came close, then you can say, yes, he is the father of the sport, the godfather of the sport, but this is the best player of the sport. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he caused the sport to be what it is today, but this person excelled in what the sport is today. That's how you make that argument. And also, we have to remember when we have these arguments and these discussions, stick to the facts, because whenever it comes to who's the best, it's an emotional discussion. So therefore, you're coming off of your heart, and it's like you're saying it because that's the person you watched growing up. Just stick to the facts. The facts tells you the truth. And that keeps away the arguments too. If you stick to the facts, there's no point to really argue, be mad, because it's not emotional anymore. Take out the emotion.
I agree. And I'll be in the comments reading everybody. So let us know. Get in the comments, please. I really want to know. Go in and give me I read even the longest of comments, guys. So
some of the comments.
I don't always reply to them all, but I promise you I read all of them. But go ahead, leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on this argument.
If you see our thumbs up your comment, we read your comment.
We read your comment, yeah. And then feel free to have some debates in the comment as well. But like we said, we're fine with trash talking. We're fine with debates. Just no hits below the belt. Keep it about cricket and not about anything else. Yeah. And let's
no personal.
Yeah, it's just a fun way to learn and love the sport, man, and grow as people here on Real Fan Sports, man. We have a great community. This community has been growing every single month. It's been so awesome just watching all the people on Discord, having conversations, talking, hanging out in voice calls when me and Nan aren't even there, just because they're becoming friends. Like, it's one of my favorite things that we've been able to do with this channel. It's what we wanted to do from the very beginning, was to create not a fan base, but a support base of just friends and family that come in a true community where we get together and we just enjoy the sports that we love and hang out. So thank you all for that.
I will say this. So with backing what he said, I agree everything what Zach said. The last thing I'll say is, if you have not had the opportunity to come into a live stream, no matter what the sport is, just come into a live stream and just come talk to us. Because we do see the comments, people think we're taking advantage of the certain sports, but at the same time, just come and talk to us and you'll understand who we are and you'll understand why we do what we do. Because you can't get it in a 10-20 minute video, but you can get it in a 2-hour live stream.
2-hour live stream. No, I'm pretty sure I've done 6-10-hour live streams the last 2 weeks. So
that's that good old test.
Man, that's been killing me, bro. And then followed up by the BBL, man, taking my life away. But anyway, guys, look, we truly appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We're coming near the end of the new year, the end of the year up to the new year, and it has been one hell of a year. We're hoping for
crazy ride.
Even better next one, man. We hope all y'all's goals and aspirations come true next year, man. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Cheers.
Peace out, y'all.